In this video, I will show you how to use the Synflow SDK. If you have not done that before, I suggest adding examples project repository that we provide. So you can find that repository on GitHub at github.com synflowexamples.git. This repository contains various examples of code, very simple one like LED and more complex one like Word or Sober. Once you have added the repository, you can see it in the Git view. Here you have a Git repository view. To add the projects that are contained in the repository, you can make a right click and click on Import Projects. Select the project you want to import and click Finish. Now you have all your projects in the Project Explorer view. So first is Git repository, second is Project Explorer. You also have a console view that we will use later, so it displays various information when compiling or simulating an application. You have a programs view. If you have errors or running, you can see that on that view. For example, I have here a variable that is never used in Word. So I also have an error that I can fix. You have a blanking, you have an FSM finite state machine view, a network view, and here you have a code editor. So let's open a CX file. I will use an LED project. So in every project you have two folders. First one is source, and this one contains the source files of your application. Second one is sim. That one will contain all the files generated by the Synflow SDK to compile your application. You can have it on SRC. Inside SRC you have packages. So packages is a way to order your application. For example, here I have two packages. First one is LED that contain the source of my application, and the second one is LED tests that contain the code necessary to test my application. So LED is a very simple application that turn on and turn off an LED on a development kit that contains an FPGA. So we program the FPGA to turn on and turn off an LED, a light. So the code is quite simple. You have your task. So if you need more information about task, ports, CX and everything, I suggest having a look on our website on the documentation. And here we have a task. We have an output port called LED. We have a variable, which is a boolean, and in the loop we are negating the switch variable, and we write the switch variable on the output port. Which means in every clock cycle, because it's a loop here, so it loops the code, every clock cycle we will negate the version of switch. So if it's false, it will become true. If it's true, it will become false, and we write that on the output port. If we want to test that, we can go on test blanking. So we have an instance, a new instance of blanking LED, and we are using another task to read the output port of this instance of blanking LED and to display the result. This is what you can see on the network view. We have the blanking LED here. So you can double click on all the instances to see the code. Here we have blanking LED with the switch output port, and we write the value of the switch on the output port. And on the test, we read the value that is on the output port of LED. We read the value, that's what you can see here. So we have the instance of blanking LED, we have the output port, and we read that value, and we display the result. As I said, it's a simple application. So now you can, using this SDK, you can simulate the application, and you can make a synthesis. So we start by simulating. So you can simulate using runners, run configuration. You select a new simulation. So if I was to do it again, so we have a new configuration. So I will call that LED simulation. You select your project, so it's LED. You select the entity you want to test, so it's com.synflow.led.tests.test blocking. So com.synflow LED test, com.synflow LED test, test blocking. Apply and run. Okay, so you can see the result on the console. LED go from false to false to false to. So for it's working as we expect. And on our development kit, the LED will turn on, turn off, turn on, turn off, turn on, turn off, exactly as we expect. So that's how you do a simulation. Right click, runners, run configuration, simulation. Now you may also want to make a synthesis, so you can use the code on your FPGA. And running a synthesis will also start the compilation of the sakes into Verilog. Okay? Every time you want to generate your Verilog code, you just make a new synthesis. So for synthesis, the same process. So do I want a new configuration file? Yes, I will create a new configuration file. So the project is LED, same. I will use the same application, so com.synflow.led.tests, test blocking. Then I create a configuration file, so you can name it as you wish. Now you can choose an FPGA, so we go for lattice. I will use another one, and there another one. So we are adding FPGA and boards on demand, so if you need a board, just let us know, send us an email. Then apply and run. So what it has done is creating these files. Those files are used by Lattice Diamond, so this is a synthesizer from Lattice that is used to compile Verilog into an executable file for the FPGA, and you also have generated a Verilog for our application. So if we have a look, we have blinking LED here. So that's a generated Verilog. I think you recognize this switch and how it works. Let's switch. And we also have in test blanking LED and a test blanking. Test blanking is a network, the top network. Test blanking LED is the tasks that read the value of the LED. So that's how you use the Synflow SDK to simulate your application and to make a synthesis. That's a very basic commands. You can also, now that you have configured your application, you can run simulation here, LED simulation or configuration. Okay, you don't need to redo every time you run that. You just click here and select your configuration. If you have a synthesizer, one or more synthesizer, you can configure the Brain SDK to use those third-party tools. So you go to Synflow and Preferences, Tools, and you add the path for your third-party tools. So it's Modesium, Diamond, Quartus, or Vivada. So I've shown you how to use SDK. If you have any question, feel free to contact us. We will help you getting the best of our tools.